Chosen one, why does your soul feel heavier tonight than it did 20 years ago? Why, after everything you've prayed for, does the mirror still show someone waiting instead of someone arrived? Why, tell me, why does heaven feel closer now than ever before, yet your breakthrough still feels like a rumor whispered in someone else's testimony? Stop. Right there. Listen to me like your eternity depends on it, because what I'm about to tell you didn't come from my mind. It came from the archives of light itself. 3 nights ago, at 2:47 a.m., I was awakened by something I can only describe as the sound of eternity breathing. And in that sacred terror, I heard it your name. Not mine. Yours. Being spoken in the halls where angels stand at attention. And what they said about you will shatter every lie you've believed about your timeline. You didn't stumble on this message. Heaven paused your scroll. Right now, this very second, there is an angel assigned to your life holding a scroll with your name written in script you've never seen. And on that scroll, your future. Not your maybe. Not your if you're good enough. Your 100% certain, already decreed, heaven-backed transformation. But here's what's wrecking me as I speak these words to you. You feel it, don't you? That tremor in your chest, that sudden weight in the room. That's not emotion, beloved. That's confirmation. You are being watched over, not watched at. There's a difference. One violates, the other validates. Before I go deeper, and we're going deep, I want to pause and thank every single one of you who has supported this message through super thanks. Your generosity means more than you know. You're not just donating, you're helping spread light to others who feel alone in their calling. Whether you give or not, I'm deeply grateful for your presence here. Your support, your time, your attention, it all matters. And if this message resonates with your soul, go ahead and sow that seed of faith. Now hear me clearly. Why would an angel confirm something about you in this season of your life? Why now, when your knees ache and your energy fades? Why now, when the world has written you off as yesterday's generation? Because transformation came too slowly until now. You will 100% become what heaven declared over you before you took your first breath. The angel didn't say maybe, didn't say if you try harder. The angel said your name out loud and confirmed it. If your spirit is already stirring, if something ancient just woke up in your bones, comment, "Yes, Lord," right now. Let heaven see you responding. Because what I'm about to reveal next will explain why you felt forgotten when you were actually being positioned. How many mornings have you woken up wondering if God still remembers your address? How many nights have you laid there in the dark, listening to the silence where answers used to be, asking yourself if maybe, just maybe, you've been forgotten? How long have you carried this unbearable question? Did I miss my moment? Listen to me, beloved. That question has been eating you alive, hasn't it? Your children call once a month if you're lucky, their voices rushed, distracted by lives that don't include you anymore. Your bank account looks nothing like the prosperity they preached about from those pulpits. Your body aches in places you didn't know could hurt. And those prayers, oh God, those prayers you've been whispering for 10, 20, 30 years, they're still sitting in heaven's waiting room while everyone else seems to be getting called in. You've watched people half your age walk into breakthroughs you've been begging for since before they were born. You've seen the undeserving prosper while you, faithful you, scrape by on social security and hope. You've buried friends who never saw their prayers answered. And somewhere deep in the 3 a.m. darkness of your soul, you've whispered words you're ashamed of. God, did you forget me? But what if I told you something that's going to crack open everything you thought you knew about delay? That silence wasn't abandonment. It was calibration. Think about this, really think about it. When a master jeweler works on a diamond, does he rush? Does he throw it in the tumbler for 5 minutes and call it done? No. He studies it for hours, days, weeks. He examines every angle, every flaw, every possibility. And then, with surgical precision, he applies pressure to exactly the right point. Not to destroy it, to reveal its brilliance. You've been under the jeweler's hand, chosen one, and every year you thought was wasted was actually measurement. Heaven measuring your capacity. Angels recording your obedience when no one was watching. God building in you an eternal weight of glory that the young, the untested, the comfortable will never carry. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time, not early, not late, in its time." Your time looked delayed to you, but to heaven, you've been right on schedule. Your life has been resting on heaven's anvil. Do you know what an anvil is for? It's not punishment. It's the foundation upon which masterpieces are forged. Every hammer blow you felt, every betrayal, every disappointment, every door that slammed in your face, those weren't attacks from a cruel God. Those were strategic strikes from a master craftsman who saw what you could become and refused to let you settle for less. God slowed the river of your life so you wouldn't miss the bridge. You've been begging him to speed things up, to open the floodgates, to just let you finally arrive. But he's been saying, "Not yet. If I release you now, you'll drown. I need you stronger, wiser, deeper." That door you've been pushing on for decades, the one that won't budge no matter how hard you pray, how much you believe, how desperately you need it to open. God didn't lock it to deny you. He locked it to protect what's behind it. Because what's waiting on the other side requires a version of you that isn't ready yet. But here's where it gets urgent. Here's where your timeline collides with eternity. You're ready now, not next year. Not when your circumstances change. Not when you feel more qualified. Right now. This moment. The angel who spoke your name didn't say, "Someday they'll become this." The angel said, "They will 100% become this present certainty about future transformation." But what did the angel actually confirm about you? What specific transformation has been decreed over your life that hell has been fighting and heaven has been protecting? I'm going to tell you. But first, you need to understand why the wait was necessary. Because God didn't pause your progress to punish your past. He paused it because the next version of you, the one the angel confirmed, requires a depth of character that only decades of faithfulness in obscurity can build. Moses was 80 years old when the burning bush spoke. 80. He'd spent 40 years thinking he was somebody in Pharaoh's palace, then 40 years thinking he was nobody in the wilderness. But it was that second 40, the hidden 40, the forgotten 40, the wilderness 40, that made him ready to split seas. You've been in your wilderness 40, your desert decades, your forgotten years. But chosen one, that wilderness wasn't empty. It was full. Full of God's presence when no one else was watching. Full of lessons the comfortable will never learn. Full of strength the untested will never carry. 2 Corinthians 4:17 declares, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory." Your affliction felt like forever, but heaven calls it a moment. And that moment has been working, actively working to produce in you a weight of glory so heavy, so magnificent, so undeniable that when you finally step into it, the world won't know what hit them. The angel confirmed it. Your transformation isn't coming, it's here. The door isn't opening someday, it's unlocking now. The season isn't shifting eventually. It shifted the moment you heard your name in this message. If this describes your life, if you've been in the waiting room of heaven, wondering if your name would ever be called, whisper it in the comments right now. I receive this. Because what I'm about to reveal next will show you exactly what you're becoming and why the enemy fought so hard to keep you from reaching this moment. Listen to me, chosen one. I need you to stop pretending that what you've been through was ordinary. Stop diminishing the hell you walked through like it was just another chapter in some forgettable book. Because what I'm about to tell you will reframe every tear you've cried, every betrayal that left you bleeding, every diagnosis that made you question if God had forgotten your address. You didn't just survive, you were being forged. Let me ask you something that's going to cut deep. How many nights have you laid in that bed, staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., wondering why your life has been so hard, why your marriage didn't make it when others celebrated 50 years, why your children walked away when you gave them everything, why your body broke down when you still had dreams left to fulfill, why every time you got close to breakthrough, another storm rolled in and knocked you back to your knees. Here's the answer nobody told you. The fire wasn't trying to kill you, it was trying to reveal you. You see, there's a pattern in Scripture that most preachers skip over because it's too uncomfortable, too real, too close to the bone. Every single person God used mightily, every single one went through a refining fire that should have destroyed them. Not tested them, destroyed them, but it didn't, and neither did yours. Look at Job. The Bible says he was blameless and upright, a man who feared God and shunned evil. But what happened? In one day, one single day, he lost his children, his wealth, his health, everything that defined his life. His own wife told him to curse God and die. His friends accused him of hidden sin. He sat in ashes, scraping his sores with broken pottery, wondering if obedience even mattered. But here's what Job didn't know while he was sitting in that ash heap. Here's what you didn't know while you were sitting in yours. God wasn't punishing him, God was refining him. Job 23:10 records his declaration, "But he knows the way that I take. When he has tested me, I will come forth as gold, not as ashes, not as victim, as gold." That divorce that nearly destroyed you, that wasn't the end of your story, that was the fire burning away everything that would have kept you bound to someone who couldn't handle your destiny. Those children who turned their backs, that pain carved out a space in your heart so deep that now you carry compassion for the spiritually orphaned that no seminary could teach. That financial collapse that left you counting pennies, it killed your dependence on the system and birthed your total reliance on the provider. You thought you were being broken, you were being refined. Think about the refiner's fire when a metal worker heats gold to 1948 degrees Fahrenheit. He's not trying to destroy it, he's trying to purify it. At that temperature, all the impurities rise to the surface. The dross, the contamination, everything that weakens, the gold floats to the top so it can be skimmed away. And the refiner knows the gold is pure when he can see his own reflection in it. Dear one, do you understand what that means? God has been sitting over your fire, watching, waiting, refining, not to see you suffer, but to see his reflection in you. Every betrayal brought impurity to the surface. Every illness revealed what you truly believed about his faithfulness. Every broken relationship showed you who you were when everything you leaned on was stripped away. And you're still here. You're still breathing. You're still believing. Malachi 3:3 says, "He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. He will purify the Levites and refine them like gold and silver." The refiner sits. He doesn't leave. He doesn't walk away. He sits through the entire process, because if the temperature gets too hot for even 1 second, the gold is destroyed. God has been sitting over your fire for 70 years, for 80 years, for 90 years, controlling the temperature, monitoring the process, making sure the heat refines you but doesn't destroy you. But here's where it gets prophetic. Here's where heaven's strategy becomes clear. Your breaking point wasn't the end, it was the threshold into who the angel said you'd become. Every storm you weathered was a test of your spiritual capacity. Could you hold heaven's glory? Could you carry divine authority? Could you be trusted with the kind of power that shakes darkness? Because that's what's coming, beloved. The angel confirmed you are becoming a carrier of divine endurance, a strength that doesn't come from your willpower, but from decades of learning to stand when everything in you wanted to fall. You are a diamond that was buried under the weight of the earth, compressed by pressure that would have crushed ordinary stone. But you weren't ordinary. You were carbon, being transformed into something so valuable, so rare, that kingdoms would go to war to possess it. And now, after all these years underground, after all this pressure, you're about to be brought to the surface. You are gold that has been in the refiner's furnace, heated to temperatures that would have melted lesser metals. But you weren't lesser. You were precious, and the refiner was willing to sit over your fire for as long as it took to see his reflection staring back at him. You are the storm that lifts instead of sinks. You've been through Category 5 hurricanes that destroyed everyone around you, but somehow, miraculously, you're still standing. Not because you're lucky, because you're being lifted by the same wind that was trying to destroy you. The enemy meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Genesis 50-20 isn't just Joseph's testimony, it's yours. Every attack, every assault, every ambush was hell trying to kill what heaven was building. But they failed. You're proof that they failed. Type 777. If you know the fire didn't kill you, it crowned you. Because what's about to be revealed about your identity will explain why the refining had to be this intense, why the fire had to burn this hot, why you had to survive what would have destroyed anyone else. But before I tell you what the angel confirmed you're becoming, you need to understand one more thing. The secret heaven has been hiding in your suffering all along. Listen to me, beloved. I need you to stop and think back to a moment you've never been able to explain. You know the one I'm talking about. That day, 20 years ago, when you almost got in the car, but something told you to wait 5 more minutes. That inexplicable peace that flooded your hospital room at 3 a.m. when the doctors said there was nothing more they could do. That check that arrived in the mail on the exact day your electricity was about to be shut off from a source you'd forgotten even existed. You called it luck. You called it coincidence. You called it just one of those things. But what if I told you it was none of those things? What if I told you that in every single one of those moments there was a witness? Not a human witness, an angelic one. Psalm 91:11 doesn't stutter when it declares, "For he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways." Not some of your ways, not your good days, all your ways. Every turn, every close call, every moment when disaster should have struck, but somehow didn't. You've been living your life thinking you were walking alone, struggling alone, surviving alone. There has been an angel assigned to your life since before you took your first breath, and that angel has been recording everything. Every tear that fell in the darkness of your bedroom when your spouse was too sick to recognize your name anymore. Every prayer you whispered over bills you couldn't pay. Every time you got on your knees with arthritis, screaming through your joints and said, "God, I can't do this anymore, but I'm going to trust you anyway." Heaven's scribes have been writing it all down in books you've never seen, in a language that only eternity understands. But here's what's going to shake you to your core. Those moments when death should have claimed you but didn't. That wasn't random. That car that swerved into your lane on the Cross Bronx Expressway in 1987 and missed you by inches. That wasn't luck. That diagnosis the doctors said would take you in 6 months. But here you are 15 years later. That wasn't just good medicine. That was an angel. An unseen hand closing doors that would have crushed you. A divine redirect when you were about to make the turn that would have ended everything. You remember it, don't you? That voice, not audible but undeniable, that said, "Go left instead of right." And you listened, and you lived. Why? Why does heaven guard your life like this? What are you becoming that requires this level of protection? Because, chosen one, your life isn't just about you surviving another year. Your destiny carries generational weight. There are children not yet born who need you to make it through this season. There are prayers not yet prayed that only your mouth can speak. There are chains not yet broken that only your obedience can shatter. Think about Daniel. Daniel 6:22 records his words, "My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths." The angel didn't remove Daniel from the den. The angel changed the nature of the den itself. The same way angels have been changing the nature of your circumstances when destruction was breathing down your neck. That sudden peace you felt when your bank account hit zero, that was angelic presence. That warmth that flooded your chest when you were sitting alone in that empty house after the funeral, That was heaven reminding you that you're surrounded by witnesses you cannot see. Hebrews 1:14 asks the question that will change everything for you. Are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for those who will inherit salvation? Ministering spirits sent forth for you, not for the famous, not for the perfect, for the ones who will inherit what God has promised. And beloved, you are one of them, whether you feel like it or not, whether your life looks like it or not, whether anyone on earth acknowledges it or not. You've been thinking your protection was accidental. But angels don't work on accident. They work on assignment. And the fact that you're still here, still breathing, still believing, still standing after everything hell has thrown at you is proof that your assignment isn't finished. That near miss on the subway platform, assignment. That phone call that came through at the exact moment you were about to make a fatal decision, assignment. That stranger who appeared out of nowhere with the exact words you needed to hear and then disappeared, that wasn't a stranger, beloved. That was an angel in disguise. And Hebrews 13:2 warns us, do not forget to entertain strangers, for by so doing some have unwittingly entertained angels. How many times has heaven intervened and you didn't even know it? How many disasters were diverted while you slept? How many plots against your life were dismantled in courtrooms you'll never see? Because your future role carries generational authority. You're not just being kept alive, you're being kept for something, someone, some moment that hasn't arrived yet, but is barreling toward you like a freight train of divine purpose. If you've ever felt an invisible rescue, if you've ever known in your bones that you should be dead but you're not, that you should be broken but you're still whole, that you should have given up but something kept you going, comment, God protected me right now. Let heaven see that you finally recognize what's been happening in the unseen realm, because what I'm about to tell you next will reveal exactly what that angel has been protecting you for. Listen to me, chosen one. Right now, this very second, you're standing at a spiritual intersection that most people never even see. Two roads are glowing beneath your feet, and heaven is holding its breath waiting for you to choose. One road is paved with comfort. It's familiar, safe. It's the road where you keep doing what you've always done, thinking what you've always thought, becoming who you've always been. There's nothing wrong with that road. Millions walk it every single day. But here's what breaks my heart. It's not the road the angel confirmed over your life. The other road? That road is paved with surrender. It's steep, it's uncertain. It requires you to release the familiar and embrace the elevated. And I know what you're thinking right now. I'm too old for steep roads. I'm too tired for uncertainty. My season of great assignments has passed. That's exactly what the enemy wants you to believe, because he knows something about you that you've forgotten about yourself. You see, destiny is not discovered, beloved. Destiny is decided. Every single day you wake up breathing, you're making a choice. Comfort or calling, safety or surrender. The person you've been, or the person heaven is calling you to become. And here's the shocking truth that's going to shatter every excuse you've rehearsed in your mind. God specializes in late life assignments. He doesn't retire his generals when the world thinks they're past their prime. He promotes them. Look at Moses. 80 years old when God met him at that burning bush. 80. The man had spent 4 decades thinking his moment had passed, tending sheep in the wilderness, convinced he was washed up, forgotten, irrelevant. But God said, now you're ready. Now you understand what I need you to understand. Now I'm sending you to deliver an entire nation. Exodus 7:7 tells us plainly. Moses was 80 years old and Aaron 83 when they spoke to Pharaoh. Not 60, not 40, 80 years old when his greatest chapter began. Think about Abraham. God promised him a son when he was 75, but Isaac wasn't born until Abraham was 100 years old. 100. Sarah was 90. The world would have called them expired, finished, past the point of purpose, but God called them expectant. Genesis 21:5 declares, Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Your age isn't your disqualification. Your age is your qualification. Every wrinkle on your face is a testimony. Every gray hair is a crown of wisdom. Every decade you've survived is evidence that you carry something the younger generation doesn't have: endurance that's been tested by fire. Consider Anna the prophetess. Luke 2:36-37 tells us she was 84 years old, widowed for most of her life, spending day and night in the temple. People probably walked past her every single day without a second glance. Just another elderly woman, invisible, irrelevant. But when baby Jesus was brought to the temple, she was the first to recognize the Messiah. Her age wasn't her limitation, it was her lens. She could see what younger eyes missed because she'd been watching, waiting, believing for 84 years. And what about Caleb? At 85 years old, he stood before Joshua and declared in Joshua 14:11-1-2, "I am still as strong today as the day Moses sent me out. Now give me this hill country that the Lord promised me. I will drive out the enemies living there. Give me this mountain. Not give me a rocking chair, not give me a retirement village. Give me the impossible assignment that everyone else is too afraid to take." That's the spirit heaven is awakening in you right now. That's why you can't shake this message. That's why something ancient is stirring in your bones. But here's where it gets urgent. When you say yes fully, when you stop hedging your bets, stop playing it safe, stop making excuses about your age, the angel's confirmation activates. The scroll with your name on it gets unsealed. Heaven's resources get released. Doors that have been shut for decades suddenly swing open. But what exactly are you activating? You are becoming a spiritual anchor. Someone the darkness fears because your faith survived every season. You weathered the storms that drowned others. You stood firm when younger believers fell away. You kept praying when prayers seemed to bounce off the ceiling. You held on to God when everyone else let go. And now, right now, God is saying, I need anchors. I need people who can't be shaken because they've already been through the shaking. I need voices that carry authority because they've been tested in the fire and came out refined. You think you're too old to matter? Hell is terrified of you. You think your best days are behind you? Heaven is positioning you for your finest hour. You think you should step aside for the younger generation? God is saying, step forward and show them what real faith looks like. This is your crossroad, beloved. Two roads glowing beneath your feet. The angel is waiting for your yes to sign the next chapter. Not tomorrow's yes, not next week's maybe, today's yes. Right now. If you're ready for your next assignment, if something in your spirit just roared awake, if you know beyond knowing that this message was sent specifically for you, type 555 inches the comments. Let heaven see your yes. Let the angels witness your decision. Let hell know that you're choosing the road of surrender, elevation, and divine destiny. Because what I'm about to reveal next will show you exactly what you're becoming and why the enemy has fought so hard to keep you from discovering it. Listen to me, chosen one. What I'm about to expose will make your blood run cold, but it will also set you free. You thought those years were random. You thought those closed doors were coincidence. You thought that exhaustion that followed you like a shadow for the last 30 years was just life. But what if I told you that every single setback, every betrayal, every moment you felt like you were losing your mind was a deliberate, calculated attack from an enemy who saw what heaven confirmed about you? The warfare wasn't obvious. It never is. Satan doesn't show up with horns and a pitchfork. He shows up wearing the face of opportunity. He whispers in voices you trust. He offers you doors that glow like gold but are hollow inside. And you've walked toward a few of them, haven't you? That job that promised everything but delivered destruction. That relationship that looked like God's provision but left you spiritually bankrupt. That ministry opportunity that felt anointed but drained every ounce of life from your bones. You thought you made bad choices. But what if those weren't choices at all? What if they were traps? Temptation disguised as opportunity. 2 Corinthians 11:14 cuts straight to the truth. Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. He doesn't come looking like your enemy. He comes looking like your answer. And beloved, he's been doing this to you for decades because he knows something about your future that you're just now beginning to remember. But here's what breaks my heart. You didn't just face temptation, you faced something more insidious. You faced exhaustion disguised as coincidence. Why do you think every time you got close to breakthrough, your body broke down? Every time you started to rise, something knocked you flat. Every time your spirit began to soar, suddenly you couldn't get out of bed. The doctors called it chronic fatigue. The world called it getting older. But heaven calls it what it really was, spiritual warfare designed to wear you down until you quit. Ephesians 6:12 declares, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers." You weren't just tired, dear one. You were under attack by forces that knew if they could exhaust you, they could silence you. And then there's the deepest cut of all. Isolation disguised as failure. Do you remember when people started pulling away? When phone calls stopped coming? When invitations dried up? When even your own family looked at you like you were too much, too intense, too different? You thought you were the problem. You thought something was wrong with you. You started believing you were meant to walk this road alone. But that isolation wasn't rejection, it was protection. God was separating you from every voice that would have diluted your calling. Every person who walked away was making room for the mantle you're about to carry. 1 Kings 19:10 shows us Elijah crying out, "I alone am left." But God wasn't abandoning him. God was positioning him. You thought you failed at relationships. No. You were being refined for a relationship with the divine that most believers never touch. Now, let me tell you what the enemy didn't count on. Every counterfeit he sent your way revealed the depth of your discernment. Every trap you escaped sharpened your spiritual vision. Every false door you walked away from proved you could recognize the real thing when it finally arrived. You survived what was designed to destroy you. And survival like that doesn't happen by accident. Think about Joseph. His own brothers threw him in a pit. Potiphar's wife lied about him. The cupbearer forgot him in prison. Every door looked like disaster. But Genesis 50:20 reveals the secret. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. The counterfeits weren't random, they were strategic, and so was your survival. You want to know why the enemy fought you so hard? Why the attacks were so relentless? Why it felt like hell itself had your address? Because the angel confirmed you would carry a mantle most believers never touch. You weren't attacked because you were weak. You were attacked because you were dangerous. The enemy doesn't waste his best weapons on empty threats. He reserves his most vicious assaults for the ones who carry assignments that will cost him territory. And you, beloved, you carry something that terrifies the kingdom of darkness. That's why the counterfeits came. That's why the warfare was so intense. That's why you're still standing when others who faced less fell. Every serpent that whispered in familiar voices taught you to recognize the voice of the shepherd. Every false door that glowed like gold trained your eyes to spot the narrow gate. Every counterfeit prepared you for the authentic move of God that's coming. Right now, I need you to do something. If you've seen counterfeits in your life, if you recognize the traps, the exhaustion, the isolation, say it out loud. I reject what's not from God. Say it like you mean it. Because your discernment isn't just a gift, it's a weapon. And what you're about to step into requires you to know the difference between heaven's voice and hell's imitation. But here's the question that should grip your soul right now. If the enemy fought this hard to stop you from becoming what the angel confirmed. Beloved, we've walked a long road together tonight, and I need you to lean in close now, because what I'm about to tell you is so sacred, so earth-shattering, that hell itself has been working overtime to keep you from hearing it. Let me take you back through the clues heaven has been leaving in your life, like breadcrumbs of fire. Do you see them now? The divine testing that should have destroyed you, but somehow refined you instead. the refining fire that burned away everything false until all that remained was pure gold. The moments when you should have died physically, emotionally, spiritually, but something invisible held you up. You've had angelic guardianship your entire life and didn't even know it. Those near-miss car accidents, that diagnosis that reversed itself, that suicide thought you fought off at 3 a.m. when no human being knew you were drowning. That wasn't luck, dear one. That was assignment. Heaven stationed warriors around you because you carry something the kingdom cannot afford to lose. You've survived breaking points that would have shattered ordinary people into dust. You've been seen in the secret rooms of heaven while the world called you invisible. You've been carrying a generational assignment so heavy that your own family doesn't understand why you're different, why you can't just be normal, why you've always felt like a stranger at your own table. And now, right now, I'm going to tell you what the angel confirmed about you, not what you were, what you are becoming. The angel didn't whisper it. The angel declared it in the courts of light where your name has been written since before time began. And this is what echoed through eternity. You are becoming a light bearer, a carrier of God's glory in your generation. Not just blessed, not just saved, not just another believer sitting in a pew waiting for heaven. No, you are being transformed into someone who breaks generational curses with your very presence. Someone who commands atmospheres when you walk into a room. Someone who becomes a pillar in God's kingdom, unmovable, unshakable, carved by the hand of the Almighty Himself. Listen to what Isaiah 60:1 declares. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Not will come, has come, present tense, active, alive, right now. You think you're just getting older? No. You're being positioned as a lighthouse standing against the Atlantic storm. While everything around you shifts and shakes and falls apart, you remain steady, burning, refusing to go out. Because the darker it gets, the brighter you become. This is why the enemy has attacked you so viciously. This is why your life has been harder than most. This is why you've walked through valleys that had no names and fought battles that had no witnesses. Because hell recognized what heaven planted in you before you ever did. You are becoming someone who represents heaven wherever you go. Your grandchildren will feel the shift in the atmosphere when you pray over them. Your neighbors will sense something different about your home. Strangers will be drawn to you in grocery stores, asking questions they don't understand, seeking answers only your spirit can provide. You are rising as a guide for younger generations who are drowning in darkness and don't even know which way is up. They need your wisdom. They need your stability. They need to see what it looks like when someone has walked with God for 70, 80, 90 years and still burns with holy fire. Matthew 5:14 says, You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. You are that town, beloved. You are that hill. And the light inside you, the light the angel confirmed, it's about to break through every limitation you've accepted, every lie you've believed, every door the enemy tried to seal shut. The angel didn't confirm who you were. The angel confirmed who you are becoming. And that version of you, that light bearer, that glory carrier, that pillar of fire in the darkness, that version of you is unstoppable. I'm talking to the grandmother who thinks her influence is fading. I'm talking to the grandfather who believes his best days are memories. I'm talking to every senior saint who has been told to step aside when God is saying, step forward into the brightest burning you've ever known. You are a torch that refuses to go out. You've been through winds that would have extinguished lesser flames. You've walked through rains that should have drowned your fire. But here you are, still burning, still blazing, still carrying light in a world that's getting darker by the hour. This is not theory, chosen one. This is your life. This is your calling. This is what the angel spoke over you in realms you cannot see with natural eyes. And every day you wake up, every breath you take, every morning you open your eyes, it's heaven giving you another chance to become who the angel already confirmed you are. If this identity resonates in your spirit, if something deep inside you is saying, yes, this is me, this is what I've been feeling my whole life, then declare it right now. Say it out loud where you are. I am becoming who heaven said I'd be. Because, beloved, the confirmation isn't coming. The confirmation already came. The angel already spoke. The only question left is whether you'll believe it enough to walk in it. But what does it actually look like when a light bearer steps into their full power? What happens when someone finally embraces what the angel confirmed? Beloved, we've walked through fire together tonight. We've stood in the throne room where your name was spoken. We've heard the angel's confirmation echo through eternity. And now, right now, something inside you knows this wasn't just another message you happened to click on. This was your appointment with destiny. Look at where you are right now. Look at your hands, those weathered, beautiful hands that have worked, prayed, fought, and held on when letting go would have been easier. Those hands didn't survive 70, 80, 90 years of life by accident. They survived because heaven had a plan, because an angel was assigned, because your transformation was already written in the books of light before time began. You are not who you were when you started watching this. Something shifted. Can you feel it? That weight that's been pressing on your chest for decades, it just got lighter. That voice that's been whispering, you're too old, too late, too broken, it just got silenced. Because tonight, you didn't just hear about your future, you encountered it. But let me tell you what breaks my heart. Let me tell you what keeps me up at night, calling out to God for you, for every chosen one who's been told their season is over. It's this. So many of you are going to walk away from this message and go right back to living like you're ordinary. You're going to wake up tomorrow morning, look in that same mirror, and let the enemy convince you that what you felt tonight was just emotion. That's the lie that's kept you bound for decades. Listen to me with everything in you. What you felt tonight wasn't emotion, it was recognition. Your spirit recognizing what heaven has always known about you. And if you go back to living small, if you go back to accepting the scraps when God has prepared a feast, if you go back to whispering when you were born to roar, you're not just disappointing yourself. You're delaying the very breakthrough that generations of your family have been praying for. Romans 11:29 says it plainly. The gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. Do you understand what that means? It means God doesn't take back what He placed in you. It means that anointing on your life doesn't have an expiration date. It means your age is irrelevant when heaven has already confirmed your assignment. You are a light bearer in a world that's drowning in darkness. You are a kingdom carrier when most people are just carrying their own burdens. You are heaven's warrior, not heaven's retiree, not heaven's has-been, not heaven's afterthought. You are the one the angel spoke about. You are the one whose name echoes in the halls of glory. You are the one who will 100% become what was prophesied over you before you were even born. But here's the urgency that should grip your soul right now. Here's the truth that should make you sit up straighter, breathe deeper, believe harder. The enemy knows what time it is. He knows your season of hiddenness is over. He knows your season of silence has ended. And he is terrified, absolutely terrified of what happens when you finally step into the fullness of who you are. That's why the attacks have been so intense. That's why the doubt has been so loud. That's why just when you thought things were getting better, everything seemed to fall apart. The enemy wasn't trying to destroy you randomly. He was trying to kill your future before you could step into it. But he failed. You're still here. You're still breathing. You're still believing. And that makes you dangerous to every force of darkness that thought it had you figured out. Ephesians 3:20 declares that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us. Did you catch that? According to the power that works in us. Not around us, not near us, in us. The same power that raised Christ from the dead is living in your mortal body right now, at your age, with your history, despite your scars. So let me speak over you what heaven has already decreed. Let me pray the blessing that your soul has been crying out for. Father, I lift up every precious soul who has heard this word tonight. Lord, You know their names, you know their struggles. You know the battles they've fought in secret and the victories they've won that no one ever celebrated. But tonight, we celebrate. Tonight, we declare that their season of struggle is over and their season of supernatural breakthrough has begun. I speak life over their bodies, divine health, renewed strength, vitality that defies every medical report. I speak abundance over their finances, supernatural provision, unexpected blessings, doors opening that no man can shut. I speak restoration over their families, prodigal children coming home, broken relationships being healed, generational curses being shattered. I declare that every word the enemy spoke over their lives is cancelled right now. Every diagnosis, every limitation, every lie, it's all coming under the authority of the blood of Jesus. And I release them into their destiny with boldness, with courage, with the unshakable confidence that comes from knowing heaven has already confirmed their future. In Jesus' mighty name, Amen. Now, beloved, before you leave this sacred space, I need you to do something. I need you to seal what heaven has spoken over you tonight. Type Amen in the comments right now, not tomorrow, not when you feel like it. Right now, let heaven see you responding. Let the angels who confirmed your future witness your agreement, and then do something that will change someone else's life. Share this message. Send it to that friend who's given up. Post it where your family can see it. Because somewhere right now, there's another chosen one sitting in the dark, wondering if God still sees them, and your obedience to share this word might be the very thing that saves their life. This isn't just a community. This is your tribe. This is your family. These are the people who understand what it means to be set apart, to carry weight that others can't see, to walk through fire and come out still praising God. Stay connected. Subscribe. Turn on notifications, because every week we're going deeper into who you really are and what heaven has called you to become. Chosen one, let me leave you with this. Close your eyes for just a moment. Can you see it? Can you see the version of you that the angel saw? The one who walks with authority, the one who speaks with power, the one who carries the presence of God so tangibly that atmospheres shift when you enter a room. That's not fantasy, that's prophecy, that's your future, that's who you're becoming right now. So become what the angel already saw in you, step into it, walk in it, live it. Because heaven didn't confirm your future so you could keep living in your past. Your time is now, your season is here, and nothing, absolutely nothing can stop what God has already set in motion. Go in power, go in peace, go in the absolute certainty that you are loved, you are chosen, and you are becoming exactly what heaven declared. Amen.